Hello and welcome to our new grammar lesson, subject and object pronouns. The school's vision is learn today, lead tomorrow. And this is the title of our new lesson. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to. So let's look at the first part of the lesson, which is the subject pronoun. We have studied pronouns many times before, and we know what is the meaning of the subject. The subject is the first part of the sentence, the naming part, the person or the thing that the sentence is about. So a personal pronoun used as the subject of a sentence is called a subject pronoun. So what does this mean? It means, for example, if I have this sentence which says, she planned an archaeological dig. So this underlined word, which is she, is a pronoun, we know, third person pronoun, and here this pronoun is in the place of the subject who did the action, who planned. Okay, so we call this pronoun a subject pronoun. Another example, he and I heard the details. Okay, so he is in the place of the subject, but what about I? I is also in the place of the subject, so here we have a compound subject. He and I are subject pronouns. So now let's take a look at the object pronouns. A personal pronoun. A personal pronoun used as a direct object or indirect object or object of a preposition. Note here that the two kinds of objects, direct object and indirect object, will use object pronouns, and also the object of preposition. Do you remember this lesson from last week? The object of preposition is also called an object pronoun, or we can use also an object pronoun as an object of preposition. Okay, so let's look at the first example, the sea captain. The sea captain took us for a ride. So us here is the object pronoun because it answered the question about the object of the sentence. And there is one very easy and simple way to know whether the object is subject or object. Whether the pronoun is subject or object. If we look at the verb here, where is the verb? Took is the verb. Yes, and it smiles also. Okay, so after the verb we find object pronouns. In any sentence, if you spot the verb, you're going to find after the verb object pronouns, before the verb subject pronouns. Let's look at the second example. He told him and me stories. So here we have two objects, him, two object pronouns, him and me. So this is a compound object. Okay, and him and me, these are the two pronouns. So where is the verb here? Told is the verb. So him, me come after the verb. That's why we directly know that they are object pronouns. So pronouns, the subject pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. The object pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. This is another table, and I think it's useful for those who make mistakes. For example, here the first one, I work. These are subject pronouns. The subject pronouns come before the verb. This is the verb. I work in an office. What about the object? The object comes after the verb or after a preposition. So where is the verb here? He calls me every day. Calls is the verb, and we see that the object is after the verb. You are funny. This is before the verb, subject. I like you a lot. You here is an object because it comes after the verb, and so on. Subject pronouns replace the nouns they represent. Do not use a subject pronoun with the noun it represents. Like what? Usually, many people do this mistake, but it's the wrong. Carrie, she studied oceanography. So Carrie and she, why? Either Carrie or she. So here I can eliminate Carrie and use she studied, or eliminate she and use Carrie studied. So the correct example is Carrie studied oceanography. The exercises are from your book. Circle the pronoun in parentheses that completes each sentence correctly. I or me am fascinated by maritime exploration. Here maritime means marine. Where is the verb? Am fascinated. This is the verb. Before the verb I use I. Them or they believed that the sea captain was a good navigator. So believed is the verb. So I have to choose a subject pronoun. Which one here is the subject? Them or they? Them. Robert and he or him read about the first people to reach the North Pole. So read is the verb. And now this is a compound subject. I need a subject pronoun. He or him is a subject pronoun. He. We or us studied relics and artifacts. So we or us, we studied is the verb. So we need a subject pronoun. Which one is subject pronoun? We or us? It's we. 5. Bill and me or I studied the habitat of the penguin. Here studied is the verb, and so we need before the verb a subject pronoun. Which one here is the subject pronoun? Me or I? I is the subject pronoun. Number 6, David and she or her have always wanted. Have wanted is the verb, and so I need before the verb a subject pronoun. Which one is the subject pronoun? She. Circle the pronoun in parentheses that completes each sentence. It's the same question. Number 7, Mr. Douglas taught me and her or she about Arctic explorers. Here taught is the verb, so after the verb what do I need? Subject or object? I need an object, a pronoun. Which one here is the object pronoun? Her or she? Her. The class put the fossils back in the case after students studied. They or them studied is the verb here, so I need after the verb an object pronoun, which is them. Teddy Roosevelt supported Admiral Perry and often wrote is the verb, right? But here also I have a to. It is to preposition, so I need an object of preposition is still an object. Which one? He or him? Him. She took us or we to a field trip. Where is the verb? Took is the verb. And so we need after the verb an object. Which is the object? Us or we? Us. I helped Sarah and they or them. Where is the verb? Help. Alright, so after the verb I need an object, a pronoun. Which is the object pronoun here? They or them? Them. My sister told you. So told here is the verb. After the verb I need an object. Me or I is the object? Me. Thank you so much. I hope this lesson is quite easy, and see you in the virtual class. Goodbye.